Good morning, traders. Hope you're having a nice morning this morning. JC, Triniborn, Who Loves Lunatic, John, Brian, Jim, Dusty, OT, Michael, Bill, Chad, Dennis, Hung, Mr. Rodriguez, Francisco, Picker. Everybody who hasn't typed in the chat, good morning to you. Been watching SLDB moving here this morning. Good morning, Roth. David. Hopefully we have a runner here. Alfredo. Bob Peterson. Good morning, David Knight. Back Road Bound. Maybe SLDB will be our morning blessing for 6 a.m. Hopefully it takes off. It looks pretty promising. Good morning, Rob. Good morning, Pat. Well, we didn't get kicked off yesterday. That was a good thing. We made it all the way through the session without a YouTube error. That's a blessing in itself right there. Maybe YouTube got it fixed. Let's hope so. This is the news for SLDB. Well, it won't let me post it, so never mind. It does have news this morning. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Nice little run up. Everybody looks like they were waiting to pump it up. I'll be waiting on the pullback. I don't want to play this one candle in case it just sells off. Could have just been a few traders couldn't trade yet. I see MGOL also taking off here. Can't watch both at once. Let's go back to this other one. That one's red. Well, here it is. Now, that one's not too promising. Maybe the buyers will come back in. I'm watching over here on the volume spike for it to turn bullish. It's only paying pennies, though. That's not too good either. I can tell that over here on the side where it says 91, 95, 98. I thought it had more in it than that. I guess not. Suppose the news wasn't too promising. MGOL pulling back as well. Looks like that one may have been a pump and dump. It lost 100% of what it gained. SLDB could slowly crawl up. That's the way it's acting. Not willing to sit on it for a long period of time for pennies. Good morning, Frank, Dan, Rodrigo. Well, that was short-lived. And I thought we had a promising morning going on here. Nice long list. SPY is not looking too bad. It's kind of up. Not really ticking away yet, though. If you're new here, we're watching this volume spike column for any stock that starts moving around. This indicator is watching for any movement in pre-market. If the stock starts slightly moving up, it's going to trigger one of these indicators. This momentum indicator is watching back 30 minutes for anything that has slightly moved over the last 30 minutes. When it finds one, it gives it a score according to how much it's moving. If it's very little, it's going to get a low score. If people start buying it, it'll start climbing up the list here and make its way to the top. Once we see them spiking over here, we check them out on the chart, see if we could plan an entry. We only had a teaser yet this morning while we sit here and drink our coffee or eat our lunch or dinner, depending on your time zone. For me, it's coffee. We wait for these spikes to take off. Good morning, Randy P. Good morning, show. If you haven't muted your mic over in Discord, please do so. Just a fair warning, do not trade off of my screen. We experience sometimes longer than usual delays. I don't want you to snap your buy button on my screens. Make sure you're set up on your own computer so you don't lose any money. We have seen some long delays over a minute, so be careful when you're trading. Just don't do it off of my screen. Seems to be really good this morning. CMMB is down here in the all stocks. It's not moving at the moment. It's kind of consolidating to the right. I don't know what's going on with the internet nowadays, but yesterday, 5 minutes to 3, just before market closed, Texas had a major outage. All the internet connections went down. It affected about 8 cities. It was down for about an hour before they brought it back up. Don't know what's up with that and why it affected such a big area. Good morning, Mulpstar. It's like everything's messing up everywhere. YouTube, ThinkorSwim, now the entire internet. JC, I don't know. I typed it in and I noticed it highlighted the blue line down here. I don't know how long it was sitting there. That's why we watch both scans. This one's only the price, no filters or anything, and we're sorting them by the momentum indicator. This one, of course, is our pre-market scan. It does have the after-hours script. I wouldn't call it a pullback. It's been selling off for about 8 bars now. A pullback's when you see it run up, then you get that red candle, then it pulls back down, then you start getting green candles again for a continuation on the way up. This is kind of people giving up here. They can only hold on so long, and they see their profit dwindling, so they start bailing on it. Good morning, Daryl, Hollywood. You are welcome. Yeah, I saw Target moving this morning as well. Over here in earnings, if you haven't seen it. It's also in the all stock scan. It's a good way to track the earnings without having to go search them down if you don't have this scan on your computer. It's a pretty good one. It's tracking earnings from yesterday and if they're going to release them today. And the reason it's keeping yesterday's is because sometimes there's a continuation the next day on earnings. You can always click these little icons to tell you when they're going to release earnings. Back road bound, we see that over and over again. They'll take off before our market opens and the run is over by the time we get to trade it. I think Target's got a bunch of negativity behind it. Guess they were afraid of the market being open and releasing it. Good morning, Daryl. SPY is up a little. I'm watching the SPY on a 5-minute chart. Nothing's happening. I'll pull it up so you can see it. That's the 1-minute chart. You can see the little upward movement. The 5-minute chart here. Hopefully it'll stay up there and we can do some good with it this morning. KNTE making a move. Kind of looks like it already had a pullback here, but it just popped up. Don't really know what to do with it since we already had a pullback. Don't know what's going to happen now. Maybe another pullback. I don't want to click the buy button and it pull back on me. Want to play the pullback, not pay for it. Looks like it's going to keep running here. It's already up 46%. Watching these taller wicks on the top. These are sellers up here driving the price back down. Volume is kind of dying off. I'm monitoring this current candle bar right here. This indicator is only this candle. This one is the last candle. It's looking good down here on the indicator. The buyers are way up here. Sellers are down here. However, the sellers were selling out as it was rising. Hollywood, you have to get out of YouTube and get back in. Sounds like you just caught a bad connection. Thank you, Bob and JC, for giving us some YouTube support there. It helps a lot. Morning, Skywalker. Good thing I didn't buy into KNTE. I'd be pretty disappointed about now. Kind of popped up late on us in this scan down here. Good morning, Gigi. Good morning, Martin. Glad you guys can make it this morning. Trying to get this week kicked off. We haven't had but maybe 2 stocks since Monday. I don't know if that's a pullback or a give up. Could be either one. Starting to look like they're giving up. I'm watching this green line roll over here. Maybe the red's going to go above it. Yeah, I'm watching the SPY as well. Sellers did overtake the buyers. From this section back. But once you're on it and you stay on it, sometimes it'll kick in and sometimes it won't. I really don't think it's an issue with the script. Bob Smith has an alternative to this, and he's facing the same issue with different coding. I'm almost thinking it's migration related and we're not picking up all of the data. Not going to stop me from releasing it on Sunday, but just be aware of that. And it could also be pre-market too. I haven't thought of that. I haven't noticed it during the day having any blank spots. I'll check that today and try to confirm it. Good morning, James. This indicator is pretty nice. Like if you didn't have it, you would be waiting and watching to see if this is going to take off. But down here, you can see the buyers are slacking off. So it does play an important role when monitoring a stock. Looks like our list is getting shorter. If you're new here, in a couple minutes, I'll do the demo for you, let you know who I am, let you know what I do, and how I can help you. Good morning, Island Man. All right, if you're new here, I am Ricky Gaspard. I'm a guy who trades from his home office. I've been trading since 1990, and I am also a ThinkScript coder. And it never fails. Every time I open my mouth, the stock takes off, but that's all right. We'll let it run. But anyhow, this column here I coded a while back, probably 3 or 4 months ago. It's a volume spike indicator. I had to find a way to eliminate paying that $800 a month for a subscription service that gave me one stock at a time. So I coded the volume to break it down into buyers and sellers. And the way I did that, if it's bullish and their volume picks up and the candle's moving up, it's considered bullish, and the reverse for bearish. Once it triggers on the volume spike, we watch over here on this indicator. Well, that's wrong. Once it triggers on the volume spike, we take a look at it on the chart, and we watch for this crossover. This is a pullback strategy I developed as well. It's also tied into this script. So we watch for a crossover of the moving averages. This is the 5 and the 13. We watch these volume spike arrows start popping in as the investors are buying. We watch for a bullish or bearish signal up here. It's currently bearish. It's monitoring this current candle. We also confirm that we have enough volume to get in and get out of the stock safely. Down here, we're monitoring the entire volume to let you know if there's more buyers or sellers in the overall volume of this stock. Never trade off my screen. Sometimes my screen's delayed and it could cost you some money. Get set up on your own system before you start trading. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'll put the link down there in the chat. Watch the videos on the YouTube channel. Watch the old ones and the new ones. They all contain valuable information, and you can actually watch as we grew before these indicators were born. They all contain something that helps you just a little bit more in your daily trading. Comment on the videos. Let YouTube know what kind of a job I'm doing. It also lets me know what kind of a job I'm doing. Hit the like button on the videos. Hit the like button on this live stream if you haven't done so this morning. It helps me in the ratings with YouTube. In the description of every video, you will see a link to our Discord. That's where we keep all the files. We have about 2,000 investors over there, and they're all sharing information when they get time. You can find these files over in Current Setup. That's where our newest versions will always be. There's 4 steps to loading them. This is step 1. You get all of these indicators up here in the top half of this screen. Step 2 would be this label. Step 3 is the volume spike indicator, and step 4 is the momentum indicator. If you don't know how to install these scripts, head over to the how-to videos and watch video number 8. It'll walk you through it. If you have questions on the support after watching the video, leave us a comment in the support channel and we'll get to you as soon as we can. If I'm busy, somebody else will help you. There's many people monitoring support. And I appreciate all of the help from everybody that jumps in here as a team effort to keep these questions answered. If you're new to investing, I suggest that you make sure that you know the platform before you try to install all of these scripts. We don't really get into setting up ThinkorSwim. That's going to be on you, but we can walk you through the setup once you get it underneath your knowledge there. Appreciate you joining us this morning. If you have any questions, type them in the chat. As we wait on the next stock to pop up in this column right here, we have IONQ making a small move. Not much volume. When I click here, my eyes immediately go here to see if there's a lot of volume coming into the stock. See MMB making a move here. It did break through this high over here in the pre-market. See if it comes down and retest. It is retesting $1.10. Now $1.08. This could be a pullback. I'm not really impressed with the volume. It is picking up though. This would be your entry down here on this this support level. It was resistant. Once you break through and come back down, it becomes support. Looks like it may break through though. Let's zoom in on it and let's watch what it's doing closely. Seems to be struggling. Has now pulled back down. We're back to resistance. Doesn't really know where it wants to go at this moment. At least I don't know where it wants to go. It has nice volume, but it looks like they're equal as far as buyers and sellers. There is a 6,400 purchase going through, 52 being sold. Watching this indicator here, and you can see what I'm calling out. It's pretty much equal. The thing about me testing this indicator live is you'll already know how it's working by the time I release it. Those that don't attend the live stream, they're going to have to figure it out. That's where the video comes in. I'm going to have to try to be very specific. Can't really test it in on demand unless I can find a stock that's moving good enough to make the video. You can see the sellers are slacking off now. It's starting to drop. The buyers are slightly increasing. Looks like we're going to get a few pennies out of it. I have not purchased it. It's too unpredictable for me right now. Not the action I like to see. Good job, Dana. Now we're coming back down to test that $1.08 for support again. I think we're in a consolidation phase, really. Going to just channel sideways so we can get a bunch of buyers to come in. This is how good these indicators are. We can sit here and pick up on anything that's slightly moving. We're watching all of them that's moving. Good morning, Rich. We are making a little progress here on CMMB. Not much, but it is progress. Well, this one's a slow crawler for sure. I'm going to stay clear of it. Not going to trust it. Good morning, Frank. I'm ready for a stock that gives us $1 million in the candle. We've seen that numerous times. Something that's really being driven. Good morning, Frank and Harley's. $7 probably going to be our next opportunity. Hopefully somebody releases news at 7 this morning. We can get a play on at least one. Just give us one good one. That's all we ask. Good morning, Coach. We're watching slow crawling CMMB. Take a look at Mara here and see how it's been performing. And it just don't want to come down for me. It wants to stay in that $9 to $9.50 range. That was a nice play for the shorters yesterday. AIRE pulling back this morning. Not much moving other than CMMB doing the slow crawl. If you're willing to sit on it, you probably might make a few pennies. Hollywood, was that yesterday or the day before? The day before, me and Robert Pro watched it run from $5.50 to $17 the day before. Got to keep them in your personal watch list. You can't add stocks to the pre-market or any of the scans. If you need your own personal watch list, you need to click on your main screen for ThinkorSwim, open up the watch list on the left side. There's a plus button down at the bottom. Hit that plus. Create you a personal watch list so you can keep these stocks in it and monitor them. It's a good way to build a list. You might can play them 2 or 3 times instead of 1 time in pre-market. That sounds like a good video idea, so I will make a video on that and put it in the how-to videos. That's for those who don't know how to do that. I'll get it done for you today after this live stream. I'll give you a quick demo. Since we're dead, I'll go ahead and pull my screen over there and show you how to do it real quick. It's not really hard. So you'd open this side tab right here with your watch list on it. There's a plus sign down here. You click that plus sign, and this is the menu is going to pop up. You create a watch list here. And I don't know where it went, but you'll find it on yours. And you click here and let's see, edit my stock picks, and you name it what you want to call it, and then you save it. And then you can just add stocks to it by typing them in like here. You can see I have Mara and Top Golf. That's what this one is. I don't have many in mine. I rely mainly on the indicators. That's how you make a personal watch list. Kyle, I can take a look at it after the live stream, but you're going to have to direct message me in Discord and remind me. I have a couple of you every morning ask me for help, and I ask you to direct message me. Not necessarily you, Kyle, but I never get the messages, and I don't remember who wanted the help. There's 100 and something of you in here. So if you don't DM me, I can't call you up later to help you. But if you need assistance, right-click on my name in Discord, click on message, and send me a message. I'm willing to help you, but you got to remind me. You're welcome, Picker. you don't have a headset or a microphone and speakers, I highly encourage you to get that if you're going to hang around in our Discord and trade stocks. There's going to be some participation you may want to join in on sometimes. If you don't have a headset, you'll just be a watcher, not a talker. I don't use a headset. I have a detached mic and speakers. Good morning, AC. About 6.5 minutes to go before 7 o'clock. Hopefully we'll see evidence before 7 of something that may move at 7. Good morning, Jimmy. Good morning, Stonks. Y'all haven't missed anything. We've had this little one trying to crawl around. It's not really been a good investment. Kind of a slow morning. Doesn't have enough volume to drive the spike up there to move it up. It was up there earlier when it was climbing. It was listed in this area. Then it dropped off and went down to all stocks. That is correct. It's the only earnings there. Good morning, Narendra. You're welcome. Walter, this scan is watching out for earnings that happened yesterday and earnings that will be released today. So there's still some here that their earnings may be released today. This one is after hours today. This one is before market open on the 15th, which is today. You have to click these little gear icons. But it's keeping the ones from yesterday because sometimes we have a continuation the next day on earnings. So it's looking back yesterday and the earnings for today, and it's going to post them. Good morning, GMAC. I like it because you don't have to go see who has earnings, who doesn't have earnings. They pop up right here for you. So that earnings scan is number 6 in TOS scans on Discord if you need it. Number 6 in TOS scans. That's great, Daryl. That's what we're using here is the V4 indicator. You're welcome, Gary. About a minute and a half before 7 o'clock, watching the scans to see if anything is popping in. I don't see anything yet. Maybe they'll release news right at 7 and then give them a couple of minutes to decipher that news and see if buyers come in. Stonks and pre-market, if you had the close or last up here, last would be the price. The price would not move in pre-market unless you use mark and mark percent change. And these two will work all day long. I don't even know why we have last if these two work for all markets. So choose mark for your price and mark percent change. You don't have to go back and switch it every day, because it'll work all day long. It is 7 o'clock. I'm waiting to see if we get some activity up here. You're welcome, Stonks. We haven't had any 7 o'clock news this week. We need some excitement. Look how short the list has gotten. The SPY is kind of bouncing up and down. Doesn't really know which direction to head. It is trending up, but very volatile doing so. Looking like no 7 o'clock news. Not a whole lot of volume yet. A couple of buyers coming in. Low volume. You can see how low on the indicator down here we are. We may get a run up here for a nickel or a dime. This one didn't have a good pullback. You'll have to use your better judgment on it if you want to chance it or not. I think I'm going to save my money for a more stable play. You can see the sellers trying to take it over here. Back road, it may have ripped up yesterday, but it was mainly large caps that ripped up. You play large caps, you were probably in the money. Bunch of creeping up stocks this morning, nothing with real strong drive to it. Not even triggering the bullish in the volume spike. Good morning, Ben. I'll take a look at SPRC. It was moving a couple days ago, I believe. It's over in the 50-minute momentum scan. It's a nice run up. I don't know why we didn't pick it up. Maybe my scan didn't refresh in time. There is a 5-minute delay between scans. This probably is a pullback. Let me get rid of these lines. You can see where we played it in the past. I guess these lines will do. It did resist here at 781. Not a strong pullback, though. That's looking good for a pullback. Let me clear these lines. Reset them here. If we can get this candle to stop, it would be a good pullback. This would be resistance up here. I'm waiting on this candle to close to mark the support level. Volume is quite low. That candle did close. Could be a bounce from 709 up to 805. This would be your entry if we can get some green candles coming in. Isn't that nice? That's a perfect pullback right there. Hopefully it make it back up to 805. It's like everybody was waiting for it to hit that to close that third candle. There we are, right back to 805 from 709. That's $1 gain. Probably didn't get it all, but if you got 50 cents out of it, you did well. Good job, Dana. We do this pretty often. Whenever the setup is perfect, you can see it happens every time. It works perfect. There's your other opportunity to get out right there if you're still in. I love pullbacks. That's where I make my money. That's where you should make your money. You're not chasing green candles. Had you got in here and it pulled back, you'd have probably sold and then it ran up. This way you wait for that indication of that next green candle, click that button and watch it jump. I really don't think we've missed any of those in the last few months, probably 3 months. Every time I mark one out, it seems to respond perfectly. Ben, thank you for calling that out to my attention. That was a good call. You done good, brother. It was over on one of my other scans, and I never noticed it. I guess I'm watching too many scans. That was pretty easy money on this play. I hope many of you got a part of it. I cannot. This indicator also looks back, and we're running up here. What you want to see here is you want to see it break through, pull back down to 805 for the next run up. So we may get multiple pullbacks out of this one. I've also seen them run from here, and I could not control them. They just run, no pullbacks. Other people see it moving, and they jump in and drive it even higher. Coming back down to retest 805. volume is not real high this time around. I'm watching it. It's 32 right now. Not moving much. We are back down below 805. We're retesting 805. There could be another run up here. So we are at that entry level if it's going to bounce up. It's now picking up on the indicator, the dominator. We didn't have enough data back here because it was not trading for this indicator to work. Not liking that it's pulling back here. I'm pretty sure it will make it back up to 863. Not absolutely. Don't ever take my words as a signal to buy. Just watch what I do on the screen and you'll learn how to do that and you'll make the money like I do. You are getting a spike arrow coming in. Retesting 805 again. It may channel here in between that zone, 805 and 863. It's like the buyers are dropping off according to the dominator indicator. Sellers are taking over. Still holding that 805 level. Yeah, Dana, I think the run may happen or may not. It's kind of weak. I'm looking at volume dying off. Sellers are dying off. Buyers are dying off. The sellers are dropping down a little. There's the sellers. Maybe that green line will jump up and we'll get it to run up again. It's not too promising at the moment. It's trying. Just because of this, I'm not going to click the buy button. Looks like the buyers are trying to come back in. Good job, back road. That second run's not as promising as that first pullback. That was pretty decent on that first pullback. This one was $1 move right here, or almost $1. Probably couldn't have captured it all, but got a good piece of it. Had good money on it, moving $1 at a time per number. Still could be another play here. Just have to watch it and see. There's nothing else moving, so we might as well watch it. Volume has pretty much died on this stock. Narendra, yes, I'm adding them manually. $1 is very good. Just imagine if you could afford 2,000 shares, you'd be up almost $2,000. Good job, Mac. Was an easy call when you do pullbacks. Pretty much can call it right on out. The best one is that second pullback. I'm not liking this performance here where the buyers are not coming back in. It tells me the run could be over. But it is holding the price range of $8.05 to $8. There's a down arrow that went away. Doesn't take news, it takes buyers and sellers to be interested in it. That's why I play numbers and not news. That's why I play these indicators. Nice to make money without something pumping it up. So Gary B says there is news, positive news on Alzheimer's therapy. Not liking this indicator down here is telling me it's very weak. Volume has left it. Eddie, I haven't released it yet. It is in testing this week. There'll be a video out on it on Sunday. Make sure you're subscribed to YouTube. You'll get the notification that at the moment I release it. But you can come here in the morning and learn it before I release it. I'm explaining what's happening on it as it happens. Right now, the volume is down. The sellers are stronger than the buyers. It's tied into this indicator right here, these last two, where you see buyers and sellers. I programmed this where you could see it visually what's going on here. And of course, these are the buyers and sellers in the overall volume of this stock. You're welcome, Akachi. RBOT penny stock moving. SPRC, my scans finally refreshed. It ended up down here in the all stock scan. Looks like our bot failed. So when I click on something new, sometimes it appears and sometimes it doesn't. I think it all depends on if I had looked at that stock prior to and it was able to collect data from it. Since I just clicked on this one, it has no data. A few bars from now, it'll start showing up. So I guess it needs a history to work properly. LIFW, that's a popular one. It's been moving for about a week. Good job, Jimmy. I made a few dollars off of LIFW as well. Not like I wanted to, but I made some off of it. You'll get there, Jimmy. There's no need to rush it in this kind of a market. We're getting very few stocks to play every day, but we are making money. I know a lot of people are not making money. When you play large volume size or larger volume size, you have to just Remember, you're going to take a bigger loss, but you're also going to make bigger gains. So it's really important to play the stock properly, preferably on a pullback if you're going to hit it hard. There's higher risk with it, but it's more money. Once you get this system down, the risk kind of gets reduced quite a bit, especially when we can find them right when the people are buying. We're not too late on them. We are some of them, but most of them we catch. I have it over in TOS scans. There's really no settings. It's only a price range that you want to trade. I believe I have mine set from $1 to $50. But in Discord, just go over to TOS scans and look for the all stocks scan, and you can load it. There's one important thing you need to learn. I would say it's going to be learn these pullbacks and support and resistance levels. This is going to trigger you off when something's fixing to happen, but this is your play over here. Don't chase these green candles, just mark the highs, wait for it to pull back, mark the low of that red candle and expect a bounce. But you have to watch this volume and make sure people are there to buy it. Once you get this under your belt, you're good to go. Malik, I'm not aware of an alert you can put on news, but it would be going off for every new news release. Unless you could somehow figure out how to do it symbol specific, but I'm not aware of one. I know I don't have access to that data. I see the SPY spiked up, but then pulled right back down. Rodrigo, that's an older setup that I used to use. It's a good setup, but I'm going to tell you right now, this one's much better. What we're doing here, I'm always upgrading these indicators for the better, and the other ones get kind of left behind when something outperforms them. I highly encourage you to get the files in current setup and stay up to date with us, or you may get left behind. Check LMFA. I don't see it on my thing. Looks like maybe it may go. It's a cheaper stock. I'll stay clear of it. You can play it if you want. I'm not seeing a pullback yet. This candle did close, but it actually needs to pull down back into here somewhere. Low volume stock, risk play. The lower the volume, the higher the risk. It does have buyers. It's not registering down here because I just clicked on it. Thank you, Robert, for that information. So this would be a pullback. If it can break back up to this level, that would be 48 to 60, 48 to 58, a dime, but it looks like it's going to crash. Good morning, Obispo. I think SPRC is going to be done for a while. Hopefully it stays in this price range all the way to market open. We can get another play then on it. Welcome to everyone who's just now popping in. You missed a good dollar play we had this morning. It's real important to be here at 6 a.m. Central Time. Come have coffee with us and let's watch these monitors and I'll put you on the money. But I also want you to learn what I'm doing. I want you to do it on your own when I'm not present. You'll learn how to put these support and resistance levels for day trading. You'll learn the pullback strategy that we use that hasn't failed us yet. And I'm talking a few months. We haven't had very many stock plays, but when we do get one, we can profit from them. Good morning, Double Dare You. Didn't see you sneak in there. Good morning, Spy. Double dare you, I do have an image of my pre-market settings in TOS scans. You can compare them. Got to also make sure your Momo is on extended hours, and you right click on the name, go to edit formula, and make sure this box is checked right here and that it's on 3 minutes. This is not a chart time. This is actually a multiplier I'm using in this stock in the code. So I'm looking at a range of 10 bars. That would be 10 candles back. Times 3 minutes makes this indicator look back 30 minutes. So never change this. It works perfect just like it is. Not a chart time. It's a multiplier in my code. You're welcome, Steph. Glad to have you with us. Jim, you'll learn that as you participate with us every morning. You'll watch me mark this resistance level, then you'll watch it sell off, and I'll throw this line here, which would be support. And you'll see these indicators take off if they're going to buy it back. And that's when you click the mouse button. Some of the traders in here, they already know it's going to happen. They don't even wait on these labels. They just click it because they know it's going to spring right back up. Usually every stock will go back. If it hits a new high like this, it'll go back and retest that high. And the odds of that happening is really great. Then it held the price here and it shot up for another 63 cents. Good morning, Roger. Jim, if you participate with us every morning, you'll see how reliable this is. It's my hard-earned money. It's your hard-earned money. I'm not going to steer you wrong. I don't want to see you lose. I want to see you win. That's why I started this Discord and this YouTube. I want to change the way you think. Most people would have saw this stock pop up, pull back, and they would have went on to the next stock, and they would have missed that bounce. Then you go back and look at it later and say, well, darn, it did go up. And that's what I try to eliminate. Don't take your eyes off of them when they're pulling back. Roth, the whole thing is you don't want to see a bunch of candles when it's pulling back. You want to see very minimal candles. You want to see a strong run up, very minimal candles pulling back. As soon as that red stops, you mark it. If you see an indication of green, that's where it's going to bounce. Come to these live streams and I'll build your trust for you. Just watch what we do. I've called them out over and over and over. I'm sure anybody watching that's been here regularly knows exactly what I'm talking about. You got to eliminate the fear and go for it. I know that sounds kind of weird, but when you have a setup like this, it's worth going for. So these are not called dips. This is called there's no buyers. You need to catch them on that first burst, the pullback, and the recovery. Kind of like A, B, C, D. That's what I call an A plus setup, A, B, C, D. Roth, that means you're learning. You'll get it. Concentrate on not losing. Don't concentrate on winning. Just concentrate on not losing. You'll know the perfect setup every time it comes up. You just need a little more time. That's all you need. Little more time, little more participation here, you'll get it. That's right, Stefan. That's what I concentrate on. I don't even think about, am I going to win? I'm always, before I pull that trigger, am I going to lose? Is this the perfect setup? Did it do my ABC pattern? So had I been watching my other scan, here was another pullback. It took off. It came down those candles. You would have marked it here. You would have marked it here, and it would have bounced. It's easy to call out after it's already happened. I understand that, but this is what we do. We look for those big candles. We look for the pullback and the bounce. And you can look back here where it did not work out. This is where Roth would have bought in and wondered why it didn't work. That's a joke, Roth. I'm just teasing you. But this is the perfect setup. We're late. This is not a purchase. Jim, I don't use stop losses when I'm day trading. I'm only in for a matter of minutes or seconds. If you don't have your computer set up correctly, like buy the ask and sell the bid buttons, you have to have auto send checked. So when I click buy, I'm instantly in. When I click sell, I'm instantly out. So my stop loss is my mouse click. This is a good example. If I'm watching this stock and I mark it here and it pulls back to here and it jumps up, as soon as I see this next red candle fixing to happen, I'm out. I don't need a stop loss. I'm going to lock it in as fast as I can. If this stock is rising and I'm starting to have doubts and I don't have a red candle, I will still get out. I don't care if I left some on the table. I take what the market awards me and I'm happy with what I get. Sometimes it's little, sometimes it's a lot, sometimes it's a lot greater, and sometimes I take a loss. I don't win all of them. Just cut the loss short. as soon as you see you might lose, just get out. There's no sense, if you're having doubts, there's no sense of holding on. Don't hang on for a recovery if you're losing. That don't work either. Day trading is not buy and hold. It's quick profits in, out, no stop loss. And I know some of you look at it as, well, if I just get out, I'm not into profit. I just put that money on hold for a day or two. Well, you got to take a chance. You have that perfect A, B, C, D pattern. Why not? I'm waiting for the entire market to turn around so we can be done trading before markets open. That way you can go enjoy your day. You made good money in pre-market, but we need a bullish market for that to happen. Not just a few bullish days every now and then. We need to turn the entire market around. I don't think that's going to happen till we have another presidential election. And it may not even happen then. It all depends on the battle between the two parties. But I think we're heading in the right direction. I think things are going to change by the end of, or by the next presidential election, hopefully before. But right now we're struggling with a bad economy because of the way the country's being run. They're driving everything down, raising all the prices, paying us less. Just hang on, it's going to get better, I promise. Not the first time we've been here. Greg, if the same guy wins again, I think the people need to stand up. I think we've had enough. Stephen, you're probably right. I didn't call out no names. SPRC, I haven't looked. Well, it's had a great sell-off since we played it. Would I trust this as a pullback? No. It's already did it for us. We've already collected. We had our chance if you didn't. Unless I see a bunch of buyers come in, I'm not interested at this point. Especially looking down here, volume is low. You know, I can't say I've ever been a Republican or a Democrat or an independent. All I know is I don't care who's in office, but they need to be real. They need to know what's going on. They need to run the country correctly. I don't care what you want to classify the guy, just run the country correctly. And I don't see that happening right now. If you're new here, I'm going to take a break at 8 o'clock for 10 minutes. That's going to be adding on to our dead zone that we have going on currently. I'll probably return about 8:10, 8:15. I don't know. It all depends on what I need to do in 10 or 15 minutes. Once I get back at 8:25, we'll set up for market open. All right, I started it. I apologize. I was just letting you know why we're in the market we're in. We can it. It's all right. Didn't mean to get everybody riled up. Okay, guys, let's go back to the stock market. Didn't mean to cause a war. Next time, I'll just say the market's like it is for unknown circumstances. In about a minute, I'm going to take a 10-minute break. I think everybody should take a 10-minute break. It's PRC. I'm watching it. It's just barely creeping. Thank you, Pat. All right, guys, I'm going to take 10 minutes here. I'll see you soon. All right, I'm back early. Akachi, in answer to your question about options, we do have options traders using these indicators. I'm not an options trader, so you can probably talk to them. I know they love it, so you'll have to figure out what they've done. I think they paired it up with several other things that they normally use for options, but it does work. It does give confirmation to them, but they'll have to hook you up. I'm not an options trader. I don't want to steer you in the wrong direction. So the ABCD pattern, let's get back over here. So we're in pre-market and we don't have any volume in this stock. This is typical of pre-market. Usually the stocks are not moving yet unless news comes out or unless somebody's pumping it up. So we wait for the stock to take off. We don't chase the green candle. I mean, you can if you want, but the risk is very high because you really don't know what it's going to do. So we wait for the run up and we set this level here. Then we wait for a pullback. We wait for the red candle to stop. There may only be one red candle at times, and you mark the bottom of it. So this would be A, this would be B, this would be C, and this is where you pull the trigger. And then you catch the next pop up. Sometimes they take off and just keep going. This one, unfortunately, it stopped, but fortunately, it was $1. So A is the beginning, B is the run up, C is the pullback, and D would be your profit. Hope that explains it to you, Gigi. Good morning, Wyatt. Good morning, Rad Dad. Perseverance. KNTE. Let's see if we can get a pullback play out of it. We did have one back here. So I'm waiting on the pullback. This may be it right here. Who knows? You just have to wait and see if the play sets up. Probably not going to happen at 8:10. I don't expect it to anyway. So we do have resistance here. This candle could not break through. It's not a lot of money in this stock. Moving about a nickel a number. It is pulling back. Not liking the volume. The volume is very low, so this is not a good pullback. We're in the quiet zone between 8 and 8:30. Couple more low volume buyers coming into KNTE. Don't know if they can drive it up or not. Old Thumb, you don't really know the total, but I also watch level 2. And I'm watching the buyer side and the seller side. Whichever side outnumbers the other side, I'll know which direction it's heading. So if the bids stack up higher than the ask in level 2, then I know the direction. Walter, I'm not a predictor of stocks. This is a stock market. If you can forecast that for me, I want to hire your services. Don't know anything that's for real unless you can see it happening on your strategy and it's setting up. Anything can happen at market open. The SPY could drop, and it is dropping, and everything that was positive could be negative. So if I told you, yeah, it's going up at open, I would be a liar because I don't really know. Harley's, I think there is a video on level 2. It's very brief because there's really not much to say about it, but I believe there is one on YouTube. I don't think it's on Discord, but there is one on YouTube. Trying to push it up here before market open. Be careful of the sell-off before market open. They can get it up high enough to take profits before market open. They will take them profits. Fine, I'm going to release it on Sunday no matter what. There's that sell-off before market open. See if SPRC's hanging in there. Well, my upload speed is 1.1 gigs, so I know the upload is good. It's going to be a YouTube thing. Good morning, Robert Pro. We've been able to resolve that by people getting out and getting back into the stream. Sometimes that fixes it. There's been a couple of other suggestions to change your settings on YouTube. Robert, I did not participate. We didn't have internet for a couple of hours. But after we got internet back, I looked back at after hours and nothing really moved, so we didn't miss anything. Old Thumb, I watch after hours immediately after the bell rings. If nothing's happening immediately, then nothing will probably happen. So it's like the first 5 minutes after the bell rings is if something's going to take off, it will. 20 minutes after the bell rings, if nothing's moving, chances are they're not going to move. It's not like pre-market. It's a lot slower. You may get one stock a day if you're lucky. SPRC selling off before market open. CMMB. Yeah, they're pumping that one up, but they'll probably pull it back too before market open. So be careful if you're in for profit. I would keep a close eye on it. The SPY is pulling back, so everyone knows the market's probably going to open lower or down. So if you're in profit, I would not hold through the open. Good morning, Shayo. So let's take a look at the SPY real quick. I'll show you what I'm seeing. Let's bring that over to a 1 minute. This is what we're looking at for market open. Definitely trending down. The moving averages are reversed. The sellers are all outnumbering the buyers. I always check the SPY on 5 minutes and 15 minutes. We're back to 1 minute already. Old Thumb, I'm not streaming on after hours. No, sir. I just watch it. Yes, you fire the pre-market scanner back up for after hours trading. It turns off when market opens. It'll turn back on in after hours. Keith, I don't base anything on oversold or overbought. I'm watching buyers and sellers. That's how I make my decision. If I see buyers increasing, I'm going to hang on. The sellers will let me know that they're taking profits, and I know that immediately as well. So I don't really base it on oversold or overbought. I mean, I've seen overbought stay in overbought for hours, and the stock just keeps on going. I've seen it stay down there and oversold, and it just keeps on going down. So overbought and oversold, it may be good information for some, but not for me. I prefer to monitor buyers and sellers. I do not know. I guess it's because the other stocks, I don't know. We've just been having a lot of penny stocks for some reason. I'm not just monitoring penny stocks. That's just what's popping up. I think mainly the small cap stocks trade in pre-market. Very seldom do we see Tesla or AMD or Microsoft pop up here, but they do pop up occasionally. I don't think the large caps really trade in pre-market unless they have news come out. But they make their appearance every now and then. Thank you, Keith. Not to brag, but I think I've performed a miracle here. Not without a lot of work and a lot of prayer. Believe it or not, it's some of the simplest scripts I've ever written. It was me making them difficult. You can overcode, you can undercode and overcode. Everything on this screen is real time. Even this indicator down here, we're mainly monitoring right here. I don't care what happened back here. other than I want to know it ran up. But we're not making this decision because of what happened back here. We're monitoring real time here, real time here, real time on the arrows, real time up here in this label, real time here, and real time here. Everything is live data, not relying on the past to predict the future. There's not a video on what we do here every morning, but you can participate here and find out. There's many of these video live streams recorded. You can always go back and watch them and learn these indicators. You don't have to wait on my live streams. Watching CMMB pop up here before market open. But go watch the past live streams. You don't have to watch them all. Just watch the first, 30 minutes, whatever, until you get bored. And you'll learn what I'm doing here on these indicators. It's fun to come participate and have coffee with us and make money, though, instead of just watching a video. You can learn in real time right here with me. Joshua, there is. You go to how-to videos and watch video number 8. It'll walk you through setting all of this up. Just pay close attention. It's going to say these are watch list indicators. They're not chart indicators. I've noted that. Just read what is there. INVO was a play yesterday and the day before. I think it started on Monday. So it's a continuation play. Not even on my charts. I guess I haven't refreshed yet. Oh man, I didn't change my scan. I'll do it real quick. Good luck, everybody. I'm sitting here blabbering. It's all right. I'll be there in a second. There we go. I'm going to sort it by volume spike this morning. Let's see if we can get some high numbers up here at the top as we watch INVO. SPY's making a slight bump up. INVO's pulling back. Let's check SPRC. SPRC pulling down. This is a support level right here, and we may bounce off of this support level. Pretty rough start this morning. While I'm watching this, I'm also watching this volume spike for anything that may take off up here in these top 3 or 4. Going to continue watching SPRC here. It looks like there's buyers coming in. You see them long tails on the bottom. So whatever they're selling, they're buying it back up. We could get a run up here. Waiting on the sellers to give up. Our moving averages have not crossed, so we're still risky here. Need that white line above the blue one. Looks like they're going to run it up. Still a risk play. This would be chasing a green candle. I don't know if I would play it or not. Maybe we'll get a pullback out of it if they can run it up high enough. Not looking too promising. Let's check INVO. Could be a pullback here. This is a nice one. We do have a level here. We do have a level here, so maybe 10 cents, 15 cents possibly, if we can get a green candle to come up. If it's going to happen, this would be your entry as low as you can catch it here. I'm not liking this very low volume, so I would not play this stock. Go back to SPRC. Pretty volatile, in my opinion. Yeah, I see the SPY rising slightly. Just I don't have trust right now. I don't have trust in this one. I'd like to buy it. Moving averages are still in the wrong position. And then it'll pop and I'll miss it, and that's the way it goes. I'm also watching the 133 tick chart. It has a strong pullback on SPRC. Good job, Joe. Not seeing any positive stocks up here near the top. ASTS running up. Lots of red coming into the markets. You can see it over here in the volume spike, so be careful. I'm going to watch SPRC. And it failed. Never set up correctly. This is not a pullback. We would have needed it to run up to here, pull back, and then run up. It never got a footing. ST&E creeping up. This would have been a pullback here, but we missed it. I can't catch all of them. That's why you need to get set up on your computer. You can pay more attention to these stocks than I can. I'll try to put you on them, but I can't catch all of them. Nice volume, nice steady buying volume here. I wish we had the indicator down here, but I hadn't been watching it long enough. I can tell you everyone that's moving up. I just can't pinpoint an entry. Maybe we'll get a pullback here, but it's low volume. Not a whole lot of buyers on board. We've lost every stock that was up here at the top. QS only moving pennies. Not too good of one. I think we're just seeing a bunch of bouncing right now. Couple of them bouncing and some slow crawlers with low volume. SPRC's the reason I ain't a fortune teller at market open. SPY is now pulling back a little. PIVE, we traded it earlier in the week. You are welcome, Joe. I can tell you which ones are going up, but until this market calmed down, I can't pull out any pullbacks. I'm looking. There's no way to scan for them, so that's out of the question. You just have to watch them set up. There's SE still moving up a little. You'll see waves of volume come in and out until the market calms down. TNON was a play last week. It's on the volume, though. The volume's way too low to play. TLRY creeping up. NKLA bouncing around, lots of red coming back in. The SPY is falling, keep that in mind. So we had some runners at market open, none of them that was a setup for a pullback. Too volatile on the first run up at market open to play a pullback. When it calms down a little bit, we'll check and see what's left over. Hopefully the strong winds will still be there and we can play an entry on them. FTCH, cheaper stock moving up pennies at a time. RXRX, $7 stock, steady climb, slight pullbacks. Not a whole lot of money in this one either. From 711 to 712. Looks like it's gaining a little momentum. Buyers are declining. I'm going to move this watch list down here to the high flyers. If it's your first time here, this high flyer scan is very powerful. It means I programmed it to where the moving averages are stacked in the proper order, the 5 above the 13, the 13 above the 34, and the price is above the 5. And that's going to be these stocks down here. So they're trending up stocks. This is a pullback. Also looking down here, this indicator's not looking good, but it could make it back up to 470. Good job, Harleys. Long as you're green, that's all that matters. You can upsize your shares later. Just learn it. This one's showing weakness. Not enough volume. Save looks really good. No red candles. Probably going to creep up for a while. Or it may have already creeped up to its limit. This is why I like the high flyer scan. Everything is in order. The price is above the 5. The moving averages are in place. Save's nice and strong. It's lower volume than I like, but it's steady volume and it's steady buyers. The sellers are way down here. They don't really care at this point. No strong profit taking. Slow profit, very slow profit. Thank you, Harleys, for that contribution. It's greatly appreciated. Right now, I'm collecting funding for Discord. We need to up the video participation over there. SPY is pulling back, but SAVE is holding strong. Going up some more. So after this initial rush on the 50-minute momentum scanner, this scan is looking back 50 minutes for stocks that are moving. And we use this one at market open. You can find it in TOS scans. I also like watching high flyers. These are the kind of stocks you're going to get out of high flyers. I can click on any of them. They're all going to look good. Just have to find your pullbacks in this list. Red or green, click them all because they all look good. The red ones are going to be your pullbacks. This could be a pullback. I'm looking at volume though, and it's pretty slow. I'm looking at this green buyer's line is below the sellers. That's a warning. Is this a pullback? It could be. Nobody asked me that question. I'm just looking and making a judgment call. I'd like to see a lot more volume, drive it right back up there, not creep back up. And because of that reason, I would not trust it. We need drivers, and we don't have a lot of them. 36,000 shares on that last candle. Volume has died completely. That's why you go from here to here. You want to see these numbers really flying. TSHA still rising. Like everything is crawling this morning. FTCH still moving up. I'll take a look at STNE. It's right here in this high flyers list. This is a winner. If you don't know about it, you better check it out. Stone Cold, you don't need a video. It's going to do what it does, and it's going to find all of the moving averages that are stacked up in the proper order with the price above the 5. These are going to be your runners, your gainers. Not necessarily gainers, but it's going to be the better of the stocks throughout the day. I mostly monitor this number one position during the day and wait for bullish to kick in and check them every time I see one spiking here in the first row. You can see every one I click on is a positive stock. You just have to find your entry point on them so you can continue to make profit. Nice volume on this stock. Will it be a pullback? I don't know. We can mark out this candle when it stops. I'm not liking the buyers are selling off here. Hey, that candle closed. Let's see if it's going to go down or bounce. Not much money here. This would be $4.50 to $4.65, 15 cents. Guess if you have enough shares, it would be worth it. Right now, it's using $4.50 as resistance. Now we're back above it. I'm not liking the indicator down here. The sellers are outnumbering the buyers slightly. But it could turn around. This green line could just take off. This is what we've been facing for months. After 9 o'clock, everything starts dying. And that's when I start relying on this one scan. And sometimes even it doesn't pay off. It all depends on the market. We could get that bounce for 15. Not seeing it indicated here, though. Not seeing a bullish label. I am seeing the buyers, but not bullish, so there's not a whole lot of buyers. I think this indicator is going to save you on the pullbacks. If this is not set up properly, then the pullback may not work. You may compare up that entry with this indicator. May give you confirmation before you click that button. See you later, Dusty. Good job, brother. We're going to let that one go. TSHA, slow progress, but it is up. If the volume wouldn't die at 9 o'clock every morning, we would have some really good stocks. Kind of like when the market opens, they give us a big tease and then they close the doors. Stone Cold, I don't know which scanner you're talking about. I have multiple scanners running. See you later, MY. Thank you for joining us this morning. Have a blessed day. So you can see it's close to 9 o'clock. The volume is dying off. Why I want a bull market to come back in. Looks like we played this stock before. It already has support and resistance levels in it. 248 on that one. So right now I'm waiting for anything to hit this first row. Stone Cold, it's a programmed scanner. You'll just have to load it. It has code in it. It's ready to go. You just load it and use it. Most all of my scans have code. They're not typical ThinkorSwim scanners. You can see targets over here in the high flyers as well. This is going to be all your good stocks here. Skids, I don't copyright everything. I don't mind people using my codes. And ThinkorSwim is more like a shared community of coders and traders. So I try not to put any restrictions there. I want to stick with the format, so to speak. I've had a few people tell me, man, you should have sold all this stuff, and I don't see it the way they see it. I'm more interested in helping people, getting them profitable. My returns will come, my rewards will come. YouTube paying off a little bit, not much. Contributions help. I hate to look at it. It's probably booming, right? I'm waiting on it to come down. I'm not worried about the 20-cent swings. I'm ready for it to get down in that 750 range and run it up to 10 or 14. I don't play it continuously. I wait on the big dips and then ride them up for huge profits. This stock has paid off well for me through the years. But I've only always played it one way, and that would be up from the downfall. Mara had earnings last week, so that's probably why it's stuck up here in the 9 to 950 range. Not seeing anything happening in high flyers. The volume is dying off. The SPY is down. SLDB making a spike here. Only paying out pennies. Just keep an eye on this column. This is where they're going to spike if they're going to happen. That new indicator is really telling you the story. The sellers are chasing the buyers, so they're taking profit as it's rising. The buyers are dominating. It now appeared up here in the 50-minute. There's that little bump up. This first row never fails. Well, let me take never out of there, but most of the time it doesn't fail. Never was a bad choice of words. This is SLDB. It was a morning play as well in pre-market. Still waiting. GMAC, it's in TOS scans. Let me get you a number. I don't know which number it is, but you should be able to find it in the list. It is number 18 in TOS scans. Thank you, Eric. Just wish we had a better market. Pre-market was way better than trying to guess at open. Open's always hard to predict. It's more or less chase green candles, and I hate chasing green candles. Didn't have any strong pullbacks because the SPY crashed shortly after market open. Guess I need to start nailing them in pre-market no matter what the price is. I don't like playing the cheaper stocks, but that's the only thing that's moving. I may need to start pulling the trigger in the morning and settling for that $50 or $100. A high flyer scan is dying now. SKIN making a bump up here. Cheaper stock, paying nickel to the number. SPY is kind of bouncing around, consolidating, channeling to the right. Nothing really worth driving the stocks up, other than pulling out the few that are lined up with the moving averages. Not seeing any spikes or any strong spikes. These are going to be pretty much slow crawling. Don't know how far they'll slow crawl. Kind of unpredictable with low volume when they're moving that slow. SKIN, slow crawling up. It's in that number one position on high flyers. See you later, Stone Cold. Thank you for joining us this morning. Have a blessed day. I'll be calling it quits at 9:30. That's what time I end the stream. 6 o'clock to 9:30 every morning. Hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow as well. Maybe we'll have a better day. See you later, Mr. Rodriguez. God bless. Have a good one. KNTE now in the top position. We're seeing stocks appear, but nothing's driving them up with high volume. This one does have good volume. But this could be a mix between buyers and sellers. I'm pretty sure it is. So we're not getting any real good pullbacks to play. SPY's kind of all over the place this morning. Since nothing's happening, I'm going to clock out here a little bit early. I've got some business to take care of, and they're kind of waiting on me to reply. I appreciate everyone that joined us this morning. Come and watch us every morning from 6 to 9:30 a.m. Central Time and make some money with us. Have some coffee, lunch, or dinner, wherever your time frame is. As always, have a blessed day. Stay profitable. Cut the losses short, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.